What's good, everybody, and welcome to the midweek chat. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. I am very excited for multiple reasons on a Wednesday, but most of all, y'all, it's October. Happy October! Happy October 1st. Happy bye week. It's just a really good time to be a Tennessee fan, and I'm gonna tell you why. A, there's some great news coming, and we're gonna talk about it first thing today. Second, you're getting ready to get into the meat of this schedule. You get Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky, OU, all within the next few weeks. Which of these games are most important for Tennessee? All of them are important, but there are two that have a very high level of importance for us and what we can see happen here in 2025. But we also, it's Wednesday, it's a midweek chat. We got college football pick'ems. We have by the numbers with my man C2. And we'll talk a little bit about Josh Heupel's press conference from today. Joey Aguilar, Ty Redmond, Caleb Herring, Jack Van Dorsler all met with the media today. A lot of good things out of Tennessee football on the bye week. This is a work week, but this is a get healthy quick week. Let's dive in here on the midweek chat. I got my boy C2 and I got my boy Dylan with me. You already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the midweek chat. Let's get it popping.
Tennessee's the program to keep an eye on. If you want to know which program that's not currently at the head table of college football, it's Tennessee.
Now Meshack's got to go. A fire! Fire! Wins it! Jamaal Meshack wins it! A strike, Burton needs a bolt. Swing and a miss, and for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball.
What up, good people? What up, good people? Welcome to the midweek chat. It's your boy Ruck in the building, joined by my fellas Dill and C2. It's the top of the show, man. Y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the channel, people. If you don't know where that join button is, look to the right of the subscribe button, right below the video. It'll say join. Click that thing, man. Hop into Straight Up Tennessee fam, or if you want to be a part of our Straight Up Tennessee tailgates, have a little bit more access to members-only videos as well, hop in to the premiere side of the join feature. Fellas, it's the bye week. I love and hate the bye week, man. Like it's stale because you're like, well, I mean, we get to hate watch this weekend, but like it's not the same when we ain't strapping up. It's just a little more boring to me.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. There's also some just weird games this week. Like, I don't know.
Lots of weird games this week, especially in the SEC. Like, there should never be a week where half of the league is off. And that is literally what's happening this week.
Yeah.
Deal. What's up on a Wednesday, dog?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I mean, it's been good because I've been able to completely shut my mind off from football. I haven't thought about football since Sunday. So it's been great on that front. You know, I don't have to worry about the Vols, and then Titans suck, so I can separate myself as far as I can from that. So we're all good.
Boy, oh boy, do they suck. Golly. What a horrid franchise. Let's see what's popping in the chat. Got my man Adrian in the building. He says, "You're Ryan. What's up, Ryan?" He says, "What's good, fellas? How we doing tonight? Glad we got a bye week so I can chill Saturday and give my liver and blood pressure a break." Totally understand that, my boy. Bonfire Bear, it's a great time for a bye. It's a great time for a bye for multiple reasons. While I hate the bye week, I love the bye week because there will be no stress for me this weekend at all. I'm just gonna watch ball. I'm gonna run up some bets with my boy C2, and we're gonna get some money. That's what we're gonna do. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna make some money this weekend. But aside from that, you know, it's a stress-free weekend in many ways. You don't gotta plan your day around that kickoff. You know what I mean? It's just Oh, they playing? Cool. I turned it on. Oh, shoot, they playing? Shoot, I'll just put it in multi-view on YouTube TV. Like, you know what I mean? So just great things. But boys, let's talk about this to start off the midweek chat. It sounds like Tennessee All-American cornerback Jermon McCoy is going to be strapping up against Arkansas.
Love it.
If this is indeed factual, you get Jackson Moy back last week. You get David Hobbs back against Arkansas, and you get your All-American future first-round draft pick in Jermon McCoy back. What type of momentum does this help with this team that's already trending up? Defense had their best performance of the year by far in multiple facets of the game. Yes, they ran the football for way more than we should have allowed. It's correctable. It's correctable things. And I think you get the addition of David back. You get more of that depth. Dom slides back out to strong side, right? You get a lot of your depth pieces back. Deal. How does it make you feel if indeed Mod is running out there against Arkansas?
Yeah, a lot better. And Ty Redmond, he held his own. He did what he could do. But to be able to have Colton Hood and Jermon McCoy out there at the same time is just a game changer for us. Slide that in with Boo, and man, if he keeps playing like he did against Mississippi State, we're going to be golden in the secondary. But as far as the run game goes, man, that's also huge getting David back. You know, he ran all year with Jackson Moy by his side last year. And if we can just get those two back together and get that chemistry rolling again, it's locks on defense.
C2, what you thinking? How you feeling about the possibility? Or, I mean, it sounds it sounds legit that Jermon McCoy's playing against the Arkansas next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into it a little bit more when I get into my by the numbers, but we need the help in pass defense. So obviously, even if he doesn't necessarily come back, just the fact that he's rumored to be coming back for Arkansas gives me hope that he'll be back for some of the other big games we've got coming up. Arkansas is going to be a weird game, so I'm okay with him playing like limited minutes in that game, limited snaps for sure, just because it's going to be a weird game. They've got an entirely new defensive approach. I don't know how you get that put together in 2 weeks, but I guess we're going to find out.
I'll tell you, you don't. I mean, I don't think, has any of the guys hit the portal yet, Deal? Do you know of that?
I haven't seen anything yet, but it's also a thing of like, okay, if I hit the portal now, I'm basically sitting out all season. So
right.
A lot of them just want to stay and get the year in.
Yeah. Bonfire Bear in the chat says, imagine the packages we add in this window for adjustments is really at a perfect time. Yeah, it is. I think it's a perfect time. If Jermon practiced the 3 practices this week and then gives it a full go next week, I mean, there's no reason why he doesn't run out there to start, in my opinion. Ryan Gaynor in the chat says that's going to be great with them getting back, but Ben Bolton got to stop getting these snaps. Jaden Harmon or somebody got to be better and more athletic. I don't know why that bothers me, but bruh, I don't know. I don't know why Ben Bolton's playing snaps. I mean, maybe he's earned it. As far as practice reps and things, they trust him. You know, Heupel's staff is all about trust. Can we trust you to play these snaps? And maybe, yeah, Jaden Harmon is the guy, and Perlotti, maybe those are the 2 guys that are gonna be those types of dudes. But maybe they're just not able to be trusted right now at a high level to roll out and play meaningful SEC downs right now. Like, maybe it's between the ears for them. You know, we know that instincts and athleticism is not the issue, right? Like, we know that's not the issue, but what kind of effects will that potentially have, right? As far as really kind of right here in this big chunk, you know, with the Arkansas, Bama, Kentucky, and then OU back at the crib, right? Like, it's just a very meaningful 4 games for Tennessee. And I think the coaches are leaning more on trust, man, right now. So Slick 420 says, I can't decide if it's best for us that Petrino is interim head coach or worse. What y'all think about it?
As long as he doesn't also roll out a backup quarterback, I feel like we're going to be okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was his offense that did us in last year, but the fact that he has absolutely cleaned house on defense, it just doesn't give me a lot of hope for them going into this game. I think we can be able to score 50 on them if we really want to. We just got to keep them from scoring 50 as well. So,
And
Yeah.
for the record, that wasn't a shot at their starter. It was a joke about battered Vols syndrome on how there for a little while, anytime a team had to put their backup quarterback in the game, our defense just fell apart every single time for like 6 seasons straight.
I mean, has it stopped yet?
It's fair.
It happened last year when OU threw in Michael Hawkins at the end of the game. And shoot, freaking Arkansas threw in Singleton or whoever that was. And he freaking, so.
it happened a lot last year because Lagway got in too because we knocked
Yep.
Mertz out.
Yep. Happened to us plenty of times.
Lagway should have been in over Mertz anyway, if we're being honest.
Arguably.
I mean, I'm not a Florida fan, but I liked Graham Mertz, bro. I thought he was straight.
He could operate.
That was his thing. He wasn't going to do anything special, but he could operate. And you're seeing Lagway cannot.
Well,
Right.
that's the thing behind the line, and not so much with the tools they had because they had some good skill players, but their offensive line was not good last year. It's still not good, if we're being honest.
Yeah, he's struggling. They did get their big play receiver freshman Dallas Wilson back for this week against Texas, so we'll see what they look like. We'll get to that later with Pick'ems, but obviously Heupel met with the media on a Wednesday this week. Not a lot of juice from it, just a lot of simple things. I got a lot out of the Joey Aguilar interview. Caleb Herring, Ty Redmond, Jack Van Dorsler, they all met with the media as well. Ty Redmond, to me, dude, you can just tell, like, he's got that Cam Sutton aura about him. Cam Sutton wasn't great as a freshman. He had some bad mistakes. He did have a pick six as a freshman. But, like, he's got that type of aura, a guy that had to play early and benefited from it once he got to his junior and senior year. It's very rare unless you are just an elite talent. And I mean, like, Jermon McCoy, Colton Hood, elite talent. It's rare for corner and defensive backs to get out of college in their junior season. And so, Ty Redmond getting some clock now. I mean, shoot, who knows what his leap could be like next year, right? Like, it could be leaps and bounds, and it puts him in a good spot in his junior season in 2027. So who knows what that could be. But bye week came at a perfect time for this roster, 100%. Just a perfect time to get everyone healthy, to get everyone back on the same page, get coaches and players alike on the same page. Coaches get to go recruit well on a bye week. Heupel even mentioned that, saying, he's going to be able to go travel Thursday and Friday of this week. When does he ever get to do that during the season? You know what I mean? It's just a money week for us. I think, the biggest recruiting news right now is what's Dre Quinn going to do? Is Dre Quinn going to go to Texas, or is he going to come to Tennessee? And you best believe Josh Heupel is going to be right down his doorstep this weekend. I guarantee it. He was at the Mississippi State game, from what I understand.
I think he would.
So he's a boy, y'all. That dude, that kid can true edge rusher, bro. True edge rusher. Going to cause problems if we can get him into Knoxville, bro. But C2, man, why don't you just go ahead and take it away, man, with By the Numbers? I'd love to dive into that here, bro, and kind of see. But before we dive into it, let me answer this question real quick from my man Ryan. He says, I get subbing, but when the drop-off is that clear, I don't get it. I remember when dudes played dang near every snap. Best players got to be on the field. Yeah, Ryan, it's a new era, man. We don't, like, it's so funny, man. We don't want guys playing that many now. Like, health concerns, depth concerns, so the rotation is needed, but I do understand what you're saying. But C2, let's jump in. Oh, go ahead, Dill. Go ahead, Dill.
Well, there's also that fear of, like, you don't play a kid, now he's hitting the portal. Now you just wasted a year on a kid that ain't even going to be here. But
One second before you jump in, I got to answer
I'm not going to jump in. I was just going to keep going on the linebacker thing.
Okay.
I think some of it will help if Edwin Spillman starting over T-Lander, and we've got Carter and Spillman out there, and then T-Lander rotating in. I think that'll help some. I've not seen a lot from Ben Bolton or Jaden Harmon, like enough for me to say one way or the other who's playing better. I know Harmon's been doing a lot better in like run defense or pass rush, but he's been real bad in coverage. And then Jaden
Perlotti.
Perlotti, he's only played like 20 snaps, so it's kind of impossible to say like whether he's going to be playing better than Ben or not. But we definitely need Spillman and Carter out there as the two starting linebackers, in my opinion.
Yeah. Answering this super chat from my man Adrian. He says, after watching 1 month of SEC college football, can y'all name the top 5 best teams in the conference so far, and how many can make it to the playoffs? Yeah, your top 5 teams right now would probably be Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia, Texas A&M, and then, let me say this: Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia. I would put us and A&M on kind of like either or, and then OU. I don't know about y'all.
I think those would be my 5 as well. I would put right now OU, and then right below OU, and like OU would be like 6, and then in that like 7 or 8 spot right now, this could all change after this weekend, would be Vandy and Mississippi State.
What about
See
Texas?
what happens this weekend. Texas has to figure out their offense against an opponent that has a pulse for me before I'm ready to put them anywhere, which is, we'll get into it in the pick'ems, but that Texas-Florida game, I have no idea how that's going to go, because either defense could score more than both offenses combined.
Yeah.
Who knows? So we'll see. But with you bringing up, oh, sorry, Dylan, you go ahead.
Yeah, go do.
No, I was just going to repeat what y'all said. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, and then the second half of that question is how many SEC teams can get into the playoff. With how weak the Big Ten is this year, bro, like the Big Ten is not good. I'm just being 100 honest. It's not a good league this year. It's not bad, but it's nowhere near the competition right now that the SEC is having to go for under. There's a world where 5 get in, but 4 is more likely.
That's what I'm thinking. 4 from the SEC, 5 from Big Ten, and then fill the rest in with whoever's best in their group of 5 conference.
Yeah. So let's hit it, man.
I'm thinking 4 SEC and maybe only 3 from the Big Ten, depending on how their season shakes out. There's some teams that I think that are going to get in that I don't think are going to deserve it as far as how their strength of schedule goes. Outside of the SEC and Big Ten, I think there's teams that are going to get in that are just going to get washed in the playoffs. I know it happens every year with 1 or 2, but I think this year we could see like 3 or 4 teams just get absolutely washed by someone in the first round.
I agree.
But with you bringing up edge rushers, I will dive into by the numbers. I don't have any fancy visuals for y'all this week. I apologize. With me diving so hard into the running numbers on Sunday, I was kind of limited on time. But I did do more than Ruck was wanting. Ruck wanted to know what year Heupel was here. Did we have the best turnover margin? I just went ahead and looked at kind of all the key defensive stats through 5 games, all 5 years we're here. And I'm going to tell you why this defense is absolutely terrifying if we get Mod back. But also some areas where until we do, we're definitely a weak spot. So in turnover margin to answer your question, Ruck, through 5 games, 2022 had the best with a +4 in turnover margin. And that's with they had 9 defensive turnovers in that year through 5 games. Granted, those 5 games, they were the kind of second toughest 5-game stretch we've had to start a season, with this year being the toughest. I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. But it was Ball State, Pitt, Akron, Florida, and LSU, and that was back when Pitt was decent. I forget who their quarterback was at that time, but went to the NFL, was drafted, I think, first round, all that.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. That was his senior year when we went back up there to get revenge for them beating us the year before. And then we had Florida at home and then at LSU that year where we just took over their house. But this year is second best as far as defensive turnovers go, but is only third in turnover margin because we've had so many stupid turnovers of like tipped balls getting picked off, missed handoffs, muffed punts, all of that crap. We've had 8 turnovers, 8 defensive turnovers this year. We've had 7 offensive turnovers. The reason I say it's scary though, every other year we've had one or the other, except for 22, it was pretty even. We've had one or other type of turnover we were really good at. So like 2024, we had way more fumbles through 5 games than we had interceptions. 2023, we had more interceptions than fumble recoveries. And 2021, we had more interceptions than fumble recoveries. We've got 4 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries this year. We're dead even. We are first in defensive touchdowns on all 5 years of Heupel being here. We've got 4 defensive touchdowns this year.
That's huge.
Second best was 1 across 3 different years through 5 games. We had 1 defensive touchdown by this point in the year.
Wow.
Now here's the real reason I say it's terrifying though. It's from a pass rush standpoint. Through 5 games, the only year we had more sacks was 2023. We had 24. This year we've got 21 sacks so far. We also have 22 hits. So we've made contact with the quarterback 43 times so far this year out of 92 pressures. Other years we had last year we had 96 pressures, 108 pressures 2023, 135 2022, and 98 in 2021. We are 10% better at hitting the quarterback on pressures this year than we ever have been in Heupel's entire tenure. We hit the quarterback on 46.7% of our pressures.
That's getting after it, bro. That's getting after it.
The next best was 2022 with 36.3%. So far and away, this is the most prolific pass rush we have had in Heupel's entire tenure here. Now, TFLs, tackles for a loss. Again, we are in first this year. We have 49 tackles for a loss so far this season through 5 games. Next closest was 2021, where we had 42. 2021 had a pretty weak schedule other than Pitt. Florida and Pitt were our only 2 good games. Then we had Bowling Green, Tennessee Tech, and Missouri. And Missouri was not good that year. Here's where it kind of gets into area where we need to improve is we've given up the second most total yards we've ever given up under Heupel. 2022 is the only year we gave up more. Again, second most in pass yards and most in yards per attempt. So far this year, we've given up 7.02 yards per attempt. Now, that is with like 2 to 3 true freshmen and or sophomores on the field at any given time. So take that with a grain of salt. Rush yards also our second worst year in giving up rush yards. That Mississippi State game did not help with that. But our third best year as far as yards per carry. People just aren't running the ball on us typically because they know they can throw on us. So they're not worried about it.
Yeah.
But here's the reason why I'm not worried about the yardage. I went and looked at the opponent win percentage coming into each game on each of these seasons. Our opponent win percentage coming into each of our games this year is 88.89%.
Mm.
Our opponents have won almost 90% of their games. Second closest was 2022 with 72%. Nothing else is over 65% coming into those games. So yeah, we've given up more yards, but we've played a way tougher schedule than we've played in any of the 4 years before this. If we get Jermod back, with the pass rush being what it is, and our linebackers can stop worrying so much about trying to cover everywhere on the field and just focus on stopping the run, this defense is going to be absolutely terrifying for opposing offensive coordinators. I would not want to try and coach against this team in NCAA or any other game ever.
That could be scary, bro. We need him back. We need him back for multiple reasons, but to strike even more fear into opposing offenses, that's what Jermod can do. I mean, like, we're already getting coverage sacks. What else could, like, it could be worse. It could get wicked, bro.
Oh yeah.
Going over here into the chat real quick, Ryan says Vandy gonna get Bama. I believe Bama is riding that high on the dub against Georgia. By the way, I lost $250 on Georgia last week. Never thought putting money on Georgia at home would hurt my dang feelings. Yeah, dog. Shout out to you, Steven. He says, great show. Thank you, man. Ryan then also
Thanks,
follows up, man. Follows up with the 5 and says, this is for Tyree, folding up, shaping like a lawn chair on the strip sack. Tyree is a straight dog. That is C2's boy, y'all. That's been his boy from the jump. He like Tyree West is that boy.
I like him as much as I may dislike seeing another player out there. Is how much I like seeing Tyree out there.
It never ends. Lamone says go big orange. Bonfire Bear says in Georgia passed on the man cover all day. Can we tighten up our cover issues this week? That's good. You know, I thought last week, man, when we played man, it was actually good. Ty was in really good position most of the time. There was one play specifically we actually ran, I think it was like a cover 3 kind of lock. We're on the outside. Colton Hood was staying locked in with Anthony Evans, but on the backside, T-Lander pursued the football so heavily that we missed right there across the middle with Brennan Thompson there. And so it's really, man, our zone defense that needs a lot of work. Man-to-man is not really that much of an issue, I think, for this team. I think it's when we start to drop in our zones, man, we get lost, dude. We get lost. Yeah. And that's got to get cleaned up. And I'm glad that the bye week, you have time. And people think, man, it's a bye week. Like, dude, no. Like, there's a lot that can be done on a week like this week for Tennessee. Ryan says facts to you, C2. So go ahead. You was about to say something.
I was just going to say our coverage against Mississippi State was the highest scored out of all of our defensive categories in that game.
Yeah. And I mean, Boo Carter was amazing, bro. 90.3 PFF grade. That's huge. And again, all he has to do is continue that. If he can continue that and you get Jermod back, y'all, I'm just going to tell you something. I don't even have what's already understood don't even have to be explained. Steven in the chat says, I've been concerned for the past few years about the lack of recruiting at defensive tackle. I don't understand. Don't the coaches realize you have to have elite defensive tackles, not just edge rushers? Dylan, dive into that a little bit. I know you have you got a lot on the recruiting side. Like what is that? Why is Tennessee not going after those guys, or why are we turning in high school edge rushers into tackles?
Yeah, a lot of that in the very beginning was because, you know, we had the recruiting sanctions and everything else. But then as you looked at the roster, yes, we had a lot of guys transfer out, but we also had a lot of guys stay specifically at D tackle. I mean, you think back when we had Amari Thomas and Elijah Simmons and all those guys, and they didn't leave until last year. And that was 4 years after 2020. So it's just been hard to get guys in that want to sit. and want to wait and learn. But we've still had our wins. I mean, David Hobbs was a 5-star. We got another 5-star in Isaiah Campbell sitting there waiting. But it's just a matter of, we got them here, but now we got to coach them up. And then when they get here, they get banged up, and like we've been without Jackson Moy and David Hobbs. So getting those guys back here in a minute, that'll be great for us. But we got some guys waiting. They just got to show themselves.
For sure. Ryan in the chat says, I feel like once Mod gets back, we got to live and die on leaving the corners on an island. Our zone is going to get picked apart all year. Well, I think you like being on an island with Colton Hood and Jermon McCoy.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
Even when we rotate, you've got a guy who's basically a veteran at this point as a freshman because he's been out there dang near every snap for 5 games.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you got to also just be put into that space where what version of Jermon McCoy are we getting back, right? Yeah. Like this is not just, a sprained ankle. This is a surgery, reconstructive surgery to get a body part back functioning. What version? Do we get a better version? Because I've seen guys go through ACL surgery and look like completely amazing. And then you've seen guys who couldn't really bounce back well. And I don't see that being his case, but there's always the possibility, right? So, y'all, let's dive into some college football pick'ems, man. Y'all want to dive into that?
Yeah, I wanted to say one thing about the defensive tackles before we do, though. I mean,
let's do it.
Even with kind of the lack of recruiting, we've got Dominic Bailey, we've got Bryson Eason. Those 2 guys are pretty good. I've thought Nathan Robinson has looked pretty good at times this year. And then Isaiah Campbell's a 5-star or was a 5-star. I don't know where Ethan Utley was ranked. I'm assuming 4 at least.
Top 4.
So I get the concern in like years past, but I think this past recruiting season went pretty well for defensive tackles. At least,
yeah, this cycle was really good. It was really good. The cycle was really good. Answer this one real quick. It's Perry, talking about Jesse Perry, going to slide back to guard and David Sanders at tackles. Sham definitely gave great reps, but Perry is a guy. Yeah, I think you're going to see that offensive line look just like this. You're going to go from left to right. Lance Hurd, Wendell Moy, Sam Pendleton, Jesse Perry, and David Sanders. You saw that.
Do we know what happened with Jesse?
We don't. He came back in though. So
okay.
Jesse Perry is a dude, bro. He can play anywhere. Shoot, I feel like if Sam Pendleton had just like an amazing rest of the year and went to the NFL, Jesse Perry plays center next year. Like at this point, dude, he's proven himself, man, and he's one of them ones. Very, very excited about him. But let's get into some pick'ems, boys. So this first one right here is Iowa State, number 14, Iowa State, that is, heading to Cincinnati. What you got?
Iowa State.
I think it'll be closer than people think because Iowa State's dealing with a lot of injuries, but I do think Iowa State wins it.
As long as Rocco Beck is playing, I'm picking Iowa State.
Yep.
Kansas State heading to Baylor.
Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor. Kansas State almost let UCF come back from like 30 points down.
They did. Number 16, the Vanderbilt Commodores heading to Bryant-Denny Stadium to face off against the Alabama Dookie Tide.
Alabama by 100.
Bama. If it was any year that Diego hadn't said all the things he had in the offseason, then I think maybe you have Alabama on emotional hangover. But they've had this one circled on their calendar all year. They want this one probably more than they want any other game this year.
I would agree. I'm taking Bama, and whatever the spread is, take it. Just take it. I think it was like 10, like just recently, 10.5, which is nuts.
Hammer.
So Texas at the Swamp against Florida.
I'm taking Texas here because I just don't think Florida – I think they're at that point in the season where they've lost so many games straight that they're just trying to get through the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Texas there. I feel like that's a broken football team right now.
I currently have Florida picked, but I've been waffling back and forth on this. I don't think Ohio State's stadium was probably fairly loud for Ohio State, Texas, but I don't think Arch has been, if fans show up in a place as hostile as Gainesville as a starter, and that Florida defense is stout.
It
So
is
I
true.
don't think Florida's offense is going to do anything, but I could definitely see a couple pick sixes or fumble recoveries close enough for field goal range either direction, which defense is going to win this football game.
UVA travels to Louisville.
Give me Lou.
I'm taking Virginia, bro. They showed me too much last week.
Where's it at?
It's at Louisville.
Yeah, give me Louisville.
Yeah, I'm also going Virginia, at least to cover the spread. They're being reported as like touchdown underdogs in this game, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Louisville also hasn't really played anybody this year.
Very true. And Virginia just slid into the top 25 at number 24, by the way. So Washington heading to Maryland. Taking Washington.
I like Washington. Yeah.
I picked Maryland in the upset.
Man. UNLV traveling to Wyoming.
UNLV.
Yeah, Wyoming's just bad.
Dan Mullen, as much hell as people give him, the dude can coach some offense, bro.
Yeah.
Godly, dude.
Yeah.
He can coach an offense. He might not be the greatest head coach, but goodness gracious. Let's go to Duke at Cal.
Give me Duke.
I also think Duke. I think they've played tougher teams, and Cal hasn't really played anybody.
Same. What about Kansas at UCF?
Call me crazy. Give me UCF.
I also took UCF. They almost came back away from home, so I feel like at home.
Yeah.
And then the ESPN primetime kick there in the ACC. The number 3 Miami Hurricanes head to Tallahassee to play the Florida State Seminoles. Does Florida State bounce back?
I don't think they do. I think Miami's one of the best teams in the country this year.
I do too, man.
Week 1 was good for Florida State, but I think that was kind of a flash in the pan because Alabama did not play their best game at all. I don't think they played their best game in the last decade. But I'm taking Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I think Florida looks better than they did against Virginia, but Miami's too good.
They're very good. That's a good football team, bro.
Very.
That's a really, really good football team. So I'm excited about this weekend. Again, not having to stress. Just watch ball, sit back, chill, watch some dang football. It's kind of weird, y'all. Like, we don't have a Tennessee score to predict. So, I mean, shoot, it's time to just wrap this joint on up. Let me see. I'm going to go back up here to the chat just to see. Ryan says, why they still got us ranked at 15 again after all the top 10 law? That's just the rankings suck, man. They're not legit. It's the same reason why On 3 doesn't have Joey Aguilar in their top 15 quarterbacks. Like,
yeah.
Stupid. It's just whatever. Slick says, oh, the trash talking worked out for Tommy Castellano, though. It did work out for him. He just got lucky that he had him the first game of the season. It's a little bit more rhythm involved now, though. So let's see.
I had one more pick 'em I wanted to throw in because I think this game's interesting.
Okay.
It's Mississippi State at Texas A&M. Texas A&M coming off a struggle win against Auburn.
Yeah, but can I say this though? Like, we say struggle win versus Auburn. Auburn's been giving everybody their best shot. Everybody. And so I think Auburn is in a weird spot right now where if they just had a legit quarterback, they would probably have won a lot of these football games. So if it's at Kyle Field, Mississippi State ain't winning.
It is at Kyle Field. It's going to be the cowbell versus cowbell.
Yeah, it's blouses. Texas A&M by probably by 2 scores.
Yeah.
What you picking?
I think Texas A&M wins, but I could see it going either way.
Ryan says, I agree. The wife is from Tampa, and Florida State is her second team. Okay, nice. Everybody's saying Mississippi State. I think Oh, yeah, y'all can't give them that much flat. Okay.
Yeah.
Steven Johnson, we need defensive tackles coming in weighing 330 to 350. I like Jackson Moore and East and other guys that won't cut it at SEC. It starts in the SEC. Should have got one out of the portal. Well, you're not really seeing those type of tackles anymore.
Mm-mm.
Like that's more you know, even Jalen Carter, he's not 330 pounds. You know what I mean? Jordan Davis is almost that, but like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just why like Desmond Watson got cut. You know, he 450
Right.
and like they don't even
Yeah.
want that in the NFL anymore. So
I think
don't
if
know.
we had tackles like that too, you'd need like 6 of them with how
Mhm.
quick our offense is either going to score or maybe get off the field because we've dropped 4 passes.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they're going to get wore out. You got guys out there at 350.
Yeah.
Right.
Ryan says, do y'all think Bama covers? Yes. They're going to do everything they can to beat the hell out of Vanderbilt. I'm serious.
They could be up by 50 and they ain't going to pull starters
No.
on this game.
Steven's still saying, you know, about the defensive tackles can't win a championship without it. That's really going to hurt us. Yeah. Guys, and please don't hurt me or please don't be upset with me. Like, I'm just I don't think this team can win a championship. Now, if something just changes dramatically when Jermod gets on this football field and David gets on this football field and we get back to what we were going to be game one, and you know, we just go on something wild, like I truly don't think nowadays. Here's what I can say. This is why I'm saying that I don't know if this team's a championship team. We are now in the era. The best team every single year doesn't win the national championship.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State, let's just call it like they were the best team last year.
Yeah.
And they had to go from the 8th seed in the playoff to get that chip.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, if I'm being honest, y'all, I can't tell you who the best team in the country is.
No.
Like, you're in that portal portion of this era now where that's really a head scratcher. And the reason why here's what I think. Nowadays, with how this is all set up with the portal and the playoff, just how the playoff is even set up, it's a lot like the NCAA tournament. Whatever team is the hottest is going to win the national championship.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. And so this team could get hot, boys. Like we could get hot and just handle our business like Ohio State did. I mean, I knew after Ohio State did what they did to us, there was nobody else that was going to beat them last year, bro.
Mm-mm.
They proved it when they went and did the same thing to Oregon. And so whoever the hottest team is going to win the national championship. I really believe that. It ain't even about if they're the best team. It's just going to be the hottest team. Whoever's the hottest team is going to win it. And that's why I hesitate to say like this team is going to win a national championship. But that's why I'm like, if they get hot, they can. But if not, like we don't have what it takes, in my opinion. Am I off about that? Am I tripping?
Not really. I won't even argue that Ohio State was the best team in the country last year. I think Jeremiah Smith just went nuclear and they just kept feeding them. And that's basically what won them a national championship. So
Yeah.
I think this team could have what it takes, but it's going to depend on 2 things. It's going to depend on who Mott is when he comes back, and it's going to depend on our receivers to stop dropping the freaking ball, or at least if you're going to drop it, knock it into the dirt instead of into a defender's hands.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I want to respond to Ryan saying he wishes we had last year's defense with this offense. I'm going to caution you to wait on that. And I want to see how you feel about that at the end of the season after this defense gets healthy.
Yeah.
Because if we have this pass rush for the rest of the year with Mod back out there, I think this defense could be better than last year's.
The beautiful thing is we get to find out here soon because he's going to strap back up. And so, boys, straight up fam. Hold on. Let me read this one right here. Ryan says, thanks for y'all's input, fellas. I was going to take Vandy, but I'm taking the advice from straight up fam. Sometimes, dude, those little plus and minuses on your sports books can get you excited. just be realistic sometimes. Like,
Yep.
just be a little realistic sometimes. John Harden says the more you pass, the longer defense is on the field and they get tired more.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, boys, like we said, though, man, there's going to be no show this Friday. We're going to take this Friday off and relax, chill. And we'll be back at it, man, on Sunday. Before we head out, though, got one more right here. My man Aiden says Arkansas going to play 4 quarters of offense for the first time this year against y'all.
What's that defense going to look like, though?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
And I mean, they've played 4 quarters of offense. They just was getting locked up. The Memphis game, that was unacceptable, to be honest. So I don't know. I mean, that defense, they're gonna have to play 7 quarters because they finna get 8, bro. And I have no beef with Arkansas. I think Taylor Green is a dude. But y'all can't even run the ball either. So if they can run the football, then it could be an interesting game. But I don't know. They still got that big cat that was supposed to come to Knoxville. Did he stay in Arkansas another year?
Yeah, he's still there, bro. I wanted him so bad. Braylon Russell, yeah. I like him a lot. But yeah, boys. All right, man. Look, let's have a great weekend, boys. We're going to have a great show on Sunday. But until then, y'all, man, tap in with us. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, join this channel, man. We thank you guys so much for the love and the support. For my guy Dylan, man, for my guy C2, you already know who it is, man. It's Ruck in the building. And we'll see you guys back here live on YouTube and Facebook Sunday evening. We'll figure out a time later on in the week. Stay locked in. Hit that bell notification so you never miss a show. Straight Up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you live on Sunday.